Afternoon, good morning, good evening. I trust we are good. How we doing? Hello, hello. I trust we are good. So if you're just connecting, how did you spend your day? Hope your day went well. Hope you're doing well. So you're welcome to this night's discussion. You're welcome to this night discussion. How we doing? Hope we had a great day. Please, if you are just connecting, do well to give this live stream a thumbs up. If you're just connecting, do well to give this live stream a thumbs up, okay? If you're just connecting, do well to give this live stream a thumbs up. All right, over here you have with you Coach Wisdom Akbar. Thank you so much, Sijos. Thank you so much. It's a privilege having you here. Thank you so much. Yeah, for my day hasn't been so stressful compared to yesterday, at least. There were lots of improvements. So I had a semi-fair day. So, but I'm at work. Just that I'll be signing out tomorrow. So it's been awesome in all ramification. It's been awesome. Please, for those just connecting, do well to give this live stream a thumbs up. Do well to give this live stream a thumbs up. I hope our day went well. So over here, as I said, you have with you Coach Wisdom Akbar. I'm a mental health personnel. I'm a public health personnel. I'm an addiction and substance abuse counselor. I'm a business coach. So concerns in any of those areas, we can always relate, we can always interact. On the other hand, my contents are actually based on 4 major areas and with one bonus, okay? So I concentrate more on health related content, business related content, motivationals, and then religious related content. And the 5th one, which will be the bonus, is educational related content. So for the moment, I'm majoring on motivationals as well as health related content. For this night, we're going to be talking about a health related concept, okay? We're going to be discussing on health related content. So, but before we go into that, how has a day been? Sijo say her day was great. That was nice knowing. Yeah, it was a nice moment with you, Sijos, on the live section, okay? At least I got the privilege to see you for the first time. Hope work was great, right? How's your colleagues? You have amazing colleagues around you. You have amazing colleagues. It was just so awesome watching each of them, so supportive. Like I was just jealous in you. I just felt like, oh God, Father, help me. Let me have amazing colleagues like this too. Yeah. On the other hand, from my end, I can't wait to sign out so that I'll just go and do like my BS too. I need to go and shave it. I need to do a lot of things. I've missed my bed for a while though. Yeah, you have amazing people. You have amazing people. Trust me, you do. They are quite supportive and handsome and beautiful ladies. All right, for this night discussion, without making further ado, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I will always do so. Sure, as long as I am chanced, I will always do so. Early hours of today, I wasn't at my workplace, so I'll just try to sort out something else. Sometimes I could just be bored also, or maybe stressed out. Two things I do. If I'm stressed out or I'm bored, one of them or either of them, I just to unwind, I'll just do what I love most. Whilst I wasn't a YouTuber, I will listen to my mentor, just go to his message. That's Apostle Joshua Selman. I'll just listen to his message all through. I don't miss my headset. Not until I became a YouTuber, I do less of my headset. So, but before now, I don't miss my headset. I always go around with it just to keep myself occupied. We know that there is a adage that says that the lazy man is the devil's workshop. So I don't want to be a victim of that very adage. So I always keep myself busy with something that will build me up. And where I'm not listening to his messages, I'll keep myself busy with a book. So for those who are just meeting me, want to know, let me drop a detail, just one detail about me. I'm a I'm a lover of book. I'm a bookworm. Like I love books so much. Like if you keep house, you keep books. You keep house, you keep books. I'll go for the book instead of the house. For me, I believe with the book I can get the money that will build me that same house. That's for me. I don't know for you people. I don't know for like you guys that are connected. For me, that's my hobby. Reading is my hobby. I read wide. I'm not restricted in my study. I study all round, like in the art related courses, legal related courses. I study legal books. I study history. I study I study social sciences related content or books. I am a lover of philosophy. So I study medical books, I study motivationals and spiritual, or let me say religious related books. I study them. I'm a lover of mathematics. Just a bit of intro. So I'm a lover of mathematics. So much I love mathematics. Anything calculational. Then I know a couple of us don't want to hear about mathematics. Tell me about any other thing, but not mathematics. Amazingly, as much as I love mathematics, I really don't love chemistry that much. I would rather prefer biology. Okay. Then I'm a lover of sports, although I'm not a fanatics, but I'm a lover of sports. I love sports so much, and I keep up with the. I prefer reading up the news, what's the latest in sports and all those things. And my sport is not limited. Then I'm a lover of music, like good music, good movie. I'm a lover of movies too. I'm very selective of I'm very selective of musics. I'm very selective of movies I watch. If it's not going to be educational, then you won't find me spending my time on that because for my time I don't waste it. I rather invest my time. So if it's not going to be something that will reward me, then I won't be engaging my time on listening to those musics. I won't be engaging my time on watching those movies. Then on the other hand, I love tourism. Like I love sightseeing. I love traveling. Like I travel a lot. I travel a lot. Those that know me very well. I don't play with traveling. I could just travel to places. I'm even looking forward to those days where I'll be freer. I believe in a couple of years, not so far from now, I'll be very free. Like free to travel. I love research. I don't know how many persons here love research too. If you love research, let me know in the comment box. I just want to do a bit of intro, okay? Before we step into the major discussion. I love research. I love research so much. I love exploring. So that's why I love traveling. I get to meet people, learn their culture, learn languages, and so on. So that's why I crave for when I'll be free enough to travel to places. I want to associate with. For Africa, I want to explore every single state, every single countries. Let me put it that way. Every single countries in Africa. I want to get to at least one or two places in them. Then I'll now try other continents. I'll try other continents. Whereas I love traveling, I dislike extremes of temperature, both the cold and the hot. I don't like extreme of warmth temperature. I don't like extreme of cold temperature because of my health. I don't tolerate either of them. So any country that may not be visiting might be because of the climatic conditions. So that's me in general, okay? I'm introverted. I'm not an extrovert. Or somehow because of exposure, I no longer fall in fully into introvert. Maybe I'll fall somehow in between. And psychologists call those people in between ambivert. Ambivert. They are neither extroverts nor are they introverts. They are neither extroverts nor introverts. So they call them ambiverts, just in between. So exposure have placed me in between. But I love my private space. I love privacy. I love confidentiality. Then I love Africans. Like, I know the Africans that don't like much about Africa. I love Africans. I promote African related lifestyles. I I will sponsor, I will promote anything African. So that's me. For this night discussion, we want to talk about longevity. We want to talk about longevity from the aspect of nutrition, okay? So I want to believe that we have heard the concept of longevity. Maybe we have stumbled upon some of the factors that promote longevity. Longevity, I mean long life. That's what I mean. So we want to unlock some of those secrets of the blue zone diet. Some of those secrets of the blue zone diet. So we want to talk about how you can eat your way to a longer life, a longer and healthy and a beneficial life. All right? Someone will say that what you eat reflects who you are. So, to a greater extent, what you eat determines how long you're going to span here on this earth. We know there are other factors that could make someone stay a bit lesser than how he or she was meant to stay. Yes, there is a place for that, but what we eat to a greater extent. Yeah, Tasha, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you for having you here. God bless you. Tasha, do you know that what you were preparing almost made me crave, but because of the gaseous implications with taking beans, I just had to look for something else to keep myself a bit distracted, although I was in ward round. Our ward round, you are not permitted to use phones, in fact, while on duty. But sometimes, since I wanted to promote my WH, I don't know how I became stubborn. And then, with my stubbornness, I will sneak in phone. Once I get my WH, some of those things will stop. Hey. So thank you so much for the lecture earlier. Thank you so much for the lecture earlier. So this night, as I say, we'll be talking about, yeah, Tasha say, nice topic, I'm ready to learn. Thank you. God bless you for that. So we want to talk about nutrition. Nutrition, to a greater extent, could even, besides determining your lifespan, would also determine how your day will go. Yeah, I just make reference to something where I say there are some diets I will not just start taking. For instance, you won't find me taking soft drinks. If you find me taking soft drinks, then that hunger has choked me in my esophagus, or you my friends. Yes, so thank you so much, Tasha. Thank you so much. Oh, you're my friend, and I visited you. I just know there is no way I could avoid it. You are quite persuasive that I can't avoid you. Then there is a way I take my soft drinks. What I do is that I will dilute it. I will dilute my soft drink by neutralizing it with water. That's what I'll do. Why? Because I'm ulceratic. What I mean, I have ulcer. So I don't take soft drinks, I don't take fries. I do less of those things once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. That's why I don't take beans. And then at other times too, because of the stomach upset, I avoid beans as much as possible. So that now shows why I said that your meals, what you eat in a day, determines how your day will go. Because if I take beans, I'm expecting to stay close to the toilet. Yes. For those who may be traveling, we have heard of travel sickness before, right? You have heard of travel sickness. So imagine yourself, you are traveling and then you are eating what your stomach does not respect, or is no respecter of you that is eating it. That means that journey you are preparing to check the nearest bush track with every distance you cover. So what you eat also promotes your confidence level. As a child, as a growing child, what that baby eats determines the growth rate of his brain. There are some nutrients that you can only have it in the breast milk. Let me see who have heard of that before. If you have heard of that before, there are nutrients that you can only have in the breast milk. Who have heard of that before? You have heard a word like this, or you know that nutrient, let us know in the comment box. Let me see who want to give me answer to that. Have you heard of that before? That there is a nutrient or a particular protein or a particular vitamin that you can't have elsewhere except in the breast milk of the mother. I'm going to tell us some of those nutrients, or I'm going to tell us just one or two. Okay? Let me just see who have heard of it before. Okay, I think someone is typing, or is my network? Could it be my network? All right. So there's a nutrient. In fact, there are certain nutrients that you can't have elsewhere. You only have it from the mother. There are certain vitamins you can't have elsewhere. It's only coming from the mother. Lactoferrins, an instance, lactoferrins comes from breast milk of the mother. Although we have other sources of vitamin D, but the major source comes from breast milk. The major source comes from breast milk. So mothers, don't play with that breast milk. For a child to develop well, to grow well, to fare well, he or she needs that breast milk. Don't play with that breast milk. The better chances you maintain exclusive breastfeeding determine how well your child will fare psychologically, how well his brain will develop. The more or the lengthier the exclusive breastfeeding determines how well and how healthy your child would grow. At the other end, the healthier you feed before pregnancy, before delivery, that's what I meant to say, or during pregnancy, determines how healthy your baby will be upon delivery. The healthier you feed during breastfeeding, the healthier your baby will grow. So if you are a breastfeeding mother and you're not feeding well, this is because your baby would take all the nutritional requirement expected of that baby. So your baby will not say because you did not eat that day, he will pity you, he or she will pity you and take just a bit of the nutrient he or she needed for that day. He will take complete of the nutrient. The baby will take complete nutrients without excluding any. That's why some mothers will look emaciated during those days, coupled with these other stress factors. So if you want your baby to grow well, to span well, eat healthily during breastfeeding and your baby will grow well. It will save your baby some childhood disorders, some childhood sicknesses, some childhood infections. Now, that is for childhood. Likewise, adults, the better you feed, I started with adults anyway, the better you feed, the better you span. Now, to a greater extent, our parents those days depended more on vegetables. One would say they were more vegetarians than what we are now. We now depend more on processed food. We want fast everything. If there was fast oxygen to take, then that is what our own generation they would want to take. So we depend on anything fast. Anything but fast. Anything fast. So fast breakfast, fast meal, fast this, fast that, fast meat pie, everything fast. What I mean by fast, everything processed. That's what we want. And because these things, either during their cost of preparation or the combination for their preparation, they are not rich in nutrients. They now make a couple of, we in this generation, nutritionally lacking certain diets. It now makes us lack certain nutrients. All right? Now, for those who may want to ask me, I am in Nigeria, things are expensive and so on. Maybe I just have a little highlight for those who have a bit of purchasing power that we can maintain this diet. And I'm going to tell us the diet, the type of diet we want to talk about this night. There is what we call blue zone diet. Blue zone diet. All right? Blue zone diet are more or less set of persons that do more on natural foods. They deal with more of less of processed food. Less of processed food. Anybody within these areas of blue zones, anybody that stays around blue zone, studies have proven that they live longer, they fare longer than people that live off the blue zone areas. All right? All right? So someone will want to ask me, blue zone area. If you have heard of that word before, let me know in the comment box. Have you heard of the word blue zone before? If you have heard of that word, BLUEZONE, blue zone. If you have heard of that word before, let me know in the comment box. There's such an area called blue zone areas. There are about 5 major of them, 5 major areas called the blue zone area. We have the Okinawa of Japan. The Okinawa of Japan is one of the blue zone area. We have the Sardinia of Italy. It's a blue zone area. I'll tell us why they are called blue zone areas in details. We have, let me start the list again. The blue zone areas are 5 major areas, okay? And they include 1, the Okinawas of Japan, 2, the Sardinia of Italy, 3, the Nicoya Peninsula of Costa Rica, 4, the Icaria of Greece, and the 5th one, but not the least, is the Loma Linda of California. The Loma Linda of California. I hope we know California is in the US. The Loma Linda of California, which is a home of large population of Seventh-day Adventists. I don't know if we have Seventh-day Adventists, listening to this live stream. That's where we have more of them in California. All right. So these places I just listed makes up, the 5 of them makes up the blue zone. Why are they called the blue zone area? They are the areas that are identified by Dan Bosner, who is a National Geographic Fellow and author, as having the highest percentage of centenarians and supercentenarians. So what it all means is that this set of persons, they deal less with processed food. 1, please take note of that. They deal more with plant-based diets. They deal more with whole foods. They deal more with low meat consumption. They deal more with healthy fats. They deal more with fermented foods. All right? Now, this food pattern that they keep, research have shown that it makes them have the highest and the longest lifespan. And I'm going to take each of those type of food, the food that falls among, and those lifestyle, including mindfulness. All right? The way they handle stress is different from the way every other person handles stress. The way persons from this area handle stress differs from how other persons handle stress. They don't use medication to handle their stress. Interesting enough, someone will ask me, so why this discussion? The discussion is because the advantageous aspect of this blue zone lifestyle or principle is that it helps them live longer, and it can be practiced anywhere. That's the most interesting part. This blue zone principle or lifestyle can be practiced anywhere. The blue zone lifestyle or principle can be practiced anywhere. Now, what are they? Now, let's pick those principles one after the other and dissect them, okay? I want to believe that we're ready to hear those practices, and then by keeping to these practices, mind you, I say by keeping to them, it will help you to live longer and to stay longer. The secret to their longevity just lies in these things I'm going to be listing, okay? The secret for the blue zone areas, for them to live longer, is because of this set of practices I'm going to be listing. The first one, plant-based or plant-focused diet. They focus on whole, minimally processed plant foods, such as vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. All right? So they will eat more of beans. The type of rice they eat is the brown rice. That's what they eat, the brown rice. They take more vegetables, the pumpkin, the lentils, and so on. Those are the kind of food they eat. They don't just eat any type of plant-based food, although they center more on plant-based food compared to it's the non-processed, the natural ones they eat more. All right, groundnuts, the leafy ones, the fresh ones, and not the processed groundnut. All right, if that makes sense. we go to, I don't know how many persons are following. If you are following me, let me know in the comment box, okay? Please, if you are following me on this discussion, you want to know the secret to why these areas, they live longer. They live long. They have the longest lifespan. It is the secret that we're now discussing. If you want to know them, please, and you want to follow this discussion, let me know in the comment box that you are here with me. Please let me know in the comment box that you are here with me, okay? The second one is that they deal with whole grains. Whole grains. Now, what whole grain means is that the type of food they eat, mind you, I say they eat more of natural food, okay? Plant-based. So, it must come with all the layers in it. All the layers. For instance, millet, all the layers. The rice, the brown beans, sorry, the brown rice, all the layers. They don't deal with food that you will cut off this thing. They deal with food that is rich in fibers. So the whole grains, such as the rice, the quinoa, the whole wheat, and so on, everything is taken alongside. They don't peel off. They don't deal with peeling off. They believe that from now, I don't know who have heard this before, that groundnut, the shell of groundnut, that plant called groundnut, is where the real protein lies. Who have heard that before? That the shell of groundnut, that plant groundnut, is rich in protein. Who have heard that before? Let us know in the comment box, okay? Now, that shows you if they want to eat it now, from the shell to everything, they'll consume it. Who have heard that the shell of groundnut is highly rich in protein? We have heard that before. And not just protein, it's rich in fiber. Groundnut itself too is rich in fiber. So they deal with fresh, the fresh part of it. They don't deal with that one that you go and roast it or you go and fry it. No, that's not what these centenarians or the super centenarians eat, which is the blue zone areas. They eat the fresh. So if you want to boil it, they won't boil it to the extent that the whole nutritive content. Now, for classes of food, right? I don't know if we have nutritionists here. If you have nutritionists here, please, I stand to be corrected, but to the best of my research, all right? Vitamins and minerals, they don't survive beyond 3 to 5 minutes exposed to flames. Once you expose them to certain temperature level, they will not survive them. So now imagine you are a type of person that will say, this food never done well. Or you are a type of person that say, let this food really get well chopped and well cooked. That's not what the blue zone areas, they do. All right? Yes, they will cook their food, but they don't allow that nutrients to die off. As I've said, the vitamins and minerals, they don't last that long. Next to that is protein. Protein doesn't span so much on fire. So the quality decreases with exposure to heat. The quality of protein, as well as other food classes, they reduce with exposure to heat. So now what are we saying? We are saying that the blue zone areas, they will not go to that extent of cooking their food to the point that all the necessary nutrients, they will fully die off. And now for people who suffer more of constipation, that part of fiber, beyond the fiber that is needed, is vitamins and minerals. Now what you need to know, take this from me now, that vitamins, especially the vitamin B class, is what helps you to helps your digestion. It's what helps in your digestion. Please, sorry, excuse me. The vitamins, especially the vitamin B complex, is what helps in digestion. It is what you have already eaten have digested. That is when you have that sensation or that feelings for hunger, and you now crave for food. So whenever you feel bloated, you feel filled, is because what you have eaten has not yet digested. That's what it literally means. It means what you ate has not digested. So for those who have issues with appetite, it invariably means you have issues with digestion, or you have more or less you have issues with digestion. That's why they will give you multivitamins. So what those multivitamins, when they go into your digestive tract, specifically the small intestine at the villi, what they will do at the villi level is to, first of all, trigger the process of digestion to digest the old food you have eaten. And when the old one have given way, you will crave for new ones. And then on the other hand, they help for absorption. They help for absorption. There are certain vitamins and minerals that help for absorption. They absorb as much as onto water, the water also. So if you are lacking in vitamins and minerals, you will most likely come down with constipation related complaints. Please, if you are learning, let me know in the comment box. Let me know that this topic is quite necessary for our discussion. Okay? If you're actually learning, let me know. That's why when you go for, or you are placed on admission, you have issues with appetite, even though you are managed as inpatient or outpatient, they will never fail to add vitamin B complex. Or they will add multi, or the Americans or the UK will call it multivitamins. Let me call it like Nigerian that I am. Multivitamins. Alright? So because they help in digestion as well as absorption. So once what you have eaten in the past have been digested and absorbed for nutritional use in the body, for repairs of tissue and so on, which is what the vitamins does. Break down, digestion is a breaking down process. Break down, absorb them, and use them for tissue repair. You now feel hungry. So what are we saying? That's why fruits are emphasized. Take more fruit, because fruits are rich in majorly vitamins and minerals before you start talking about protein. So orange will be rich in vitamin C. Apple will be rich in vitamin A. Pineapple will be rich in vitamin C. Banana is rich in potassium. Banana is rich in vitamin C, some element of phosphorus, and so on. Watermelon is rich in water. At the other end is rich in some element of potassium. We call all those minerals, we call them electrolytes. All right? Please, if you are learning, let me know in the comment box. I want to see our responses so that we'll keep moving. Let me know I'm not just talking and then I'll be assuming I'm being heard. Network could make someone not to hear at the background and so on. Please let me know. Please let me know. Our responses would help me to know that we're actually following and then I'm not just talking to myself, okay? So that will take us to, as I was saying, the whole grains. Whole grains is that part of the plant that in fact the grain, they have the 3 layers intact. Nothing alters the 3 layer. So these blue zone people, they eat more of this. So they have full grain or whole grain bread. These are wheat or brown. They're made from wheat or brown rice and so on. So if you want to buy bread to know if it is whole grain, that is what is recommended for the diabetic patient. Whole grain bread is what is recommended for diabetic patient. and not the regular this thing breads. It's not all bread that are good for diabetic patient. It's not all swallow that is good for diabetic patient. It is the whole grain. The type of rice that is good for diabetic patient is the brown rice or the wheat. All right, I believe someone is learning. So this whole grain, when you check the bread, whenever you see you buy bread, please, this is a new information for those who may not know. You want to know whole grain bread. When you buy it, check it to be written there either 100% wheat or 100% grain and whole grain. Once you see that, know that that type of bread is what is recommended for a diabetic patient. Does it make sense? Can we move further? I was saying that this whole grain is part of the nutritional dieting for people who live in blue zone, and this is what helped them to live longer. The blue zone people live longer than any other persons on the planet. These areas we mentioned earlier, and these are some of the things that their secret lies in their diet and lifestyle. I'm listing some of those things. So the first one I said they eat plant-based food, and I mentioned the type of them. We now move to whole grain. The third one is legumes. Legumes. They major more on legumes, such as beans, lentils, and chickpeas. They are the staple foods in blue zone areas. They are the staple food in blue zone areas. Excuse. To get our comments in the comment box, I'm here to get our responses. The next thing that makes their diets is herbs. Herbs is part of their dieting. Herbs and spices. So, hear this other secret now from the blue zone people. They will not use sugar, or will they use salt? The blue zone people don't use sugar and salt, and where they use sugar and salt, it is at the barest minimum. Now someone will ask me, how do I eat food? My dear, sugar have resulted many persons in diabetics, especially where there is family history. Salt have led many persons to hypertension, and the interesting part is that even when most persons have been diagnosed of this, they struggle until they come to terms of either reducing or moderating the quantities of this consumption of either sugar or salt. All right? So the blue zone people, they eat food. Their type of spice, they use herbs and nuts to spice their food. Where they want sugar, they use them. Some of it, tiger nut. Tiger nut is a natural sugar, right? Honey is a natural sugar, right? That's what blue zone people would take instead of the processed. Mind you, from beginning we made emphasis on the processed. They don't deal with more on processed food or diet. So they will take honey in place of the processed sugar. They'll prefer to take things like tiger nut and so on. That's how they do. They have other herbs and spice that serves in place of salt. All right, if you have taken that point, it leads us to the sixth one, fermented foods. You deal more on fermented food. Fermented food is that type of food where there are those set of food you allow for fermentation to take place, either soaking them in water or overnight or over certain nights, and allow them to release their nutritive content, a particular microbes to act on it, and then they release the nutritive aspect of it. That's fermentation process now. So they eat fermented foods like miso, tempeh, and sauerkraut. So they eat probiotic foods. That's for the blue zone people. The next one, tea and coffee. The type of tea and coffee they take is moderated, because for those who may not know, coffee and most tea, they are caffeinated in nature, and caffeine are not too good for health. The much or the more of this caffeine you consume, where it will tell on you is not now, it is when you have advanced in age. That's when caffeine will show up. That's when caffeine will call back on you to remind you. So caffeine, in fact, for those who are into rehabs, will discourage caffeine because there are people who will manage just on caffeine as a substance of addiction. All right. Having said that, that takes us to the next one. They take red wines. Yeah, in their red wines is moderation, 1 to 2 glasses per day. They don't take beyond 2 glasses per day for red wine. I believe we are learning, right? I want to believe that we are learning. Now, they don't play with water. They don't play with water at all. They don't play with water. The blue zone people or blue zone area people, they don't play with water. And that would take me to ask, do we take water? Business with yourself, how often do you use water? Except you are thirsty, you don't even crave for water. That's why I appreciate my twinnie, Favor the Midwife. If you are not connected with her, please do well to visit her channel. And not just her, we have other YouTubers on this platform. We have Tasha came, please do well to connect with her. We have Sijos, she's a YouTuber. Do well to connect with them so that you can be able to learn other things. So Favor the Midwife always emphasize the need for taking water. She always emphasize the need for taking water. Lisa, thank you so much for having me here. God bless you. Thank you so much for having me here. This means a lot to me. Trust me, it means a lot to me. Trust me. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. So Lisa, we're discussing on the blue zone area. Not everyone knows about the blue zone. The blue zone areas are occupied by the centenarians or super centenarians. And what they are known for is that they have the longest lifespan or the highest lifespan. They tend to live longer. So we're divulging some of those secrets. We're exposing some of those secrets. We're uncovering some of those secrets that help them to live longer. And the main secret, 100%, deals with dieting lifestyles as well as other related lifestyles, more of lifestyle. We have listed a couple of those things that help them to live longer. We started by mentioning the plants-based or focused food. We talk about the fiber food, which we'll say whole grains. Talk about the legumes. We talk about the nuts and the walnuts, where we say these are things they use for spicing their food. They don't use sugar, they don't use salt. So we talked about the herbs also, which the herbs, this herb, more or less, these herbs helps them. They use some of them for even spice. That took us to the next one, food by they take more fermented food. More fermented food. So from there we now move to tea and coffee, where I say that's where you came in. Thank you, Marilyn, for connecting. God bless you. Thank you, Marilyn, for connecting. God bless you. It is at this point of tea and coffee I say that coffee is a substance of addiction, so moderation is necessary. So the blue zone people strike a great boundary between coffee and then other food they consume or meals, because coffee and this thing tea, they contain caffeines, and caffeine are not too good for the health. Excuse. So they take more of water. I was emphasizing that thank God for Favor the Midwife, she will always emphasize the need to drink water. I was asking how many of us on our own will take water. How many of us will take water? So friends, we have Lisa here with us. Connect with her. She's a YouTuber. She has interesting content. Connect with Tasha and Kim. Connect with who again was here? I think earlier we had Sijos. Yeah, connect with Sijos, please. Connect with Sijos. You will like her content too. Connect with Lisa, okay? All right, that will take us to the next one. They practice mindfulness in eating. So the blue zone people, they don't just eat until the food finish in the plate, or they don't eat till satisfaction. They will rather eat to be filled. 80% principle. When they are 80% filled, the blue zone will indicate a mark. Sorry, once they eat, the blue zone people, once they eat and then they have gotten 80% of the appetite satisfied, that will be the end for them. They don't want to finish the whole plate or pot of food. So they are not like some persons that if you put food full the plate, their sole target is to see that that plate gets empty. That's not how the blue zone, they don't eat to that point. They don't eat to that point, okay? Now, these are some of the practices. Now, remember I talked about stress, their pattern of handling stress. The blue zone people, instead of taking medication for stress, instead of the blue zone people to take medication for stress, they rather engage meditation, yoga, as well as prayer. Those are some of the ways that they handle their stress. That will lead me to ask, please let us know in the comment box, how do you handle your own stress? How do you handle your stress when you are stressed out? How do you handle it? How do you handle your stress? Let me know in the comment box, please. How do you handle your stress when you're stressed out? The blue zone people, they don't take medication when they are stressed. They rather engage meditation. They'll also engage yoga or prayer. All right, those are some of the pragmatic steps. Lisa, do you know that people are there that practice this thing? When they are stressed out, they believe the more they eat and the heavier the food, the better they will sleep, and they'll just eat enough and sleep. They'll just eat to the brim. So the blue zone people, they don't eat. I mentioned the countries that make up this blue zone. The blue zone is not just a specific part in a wall. It's not like a specific part in the wall that how will I put it? It's not like a specific part that is in one continent. It's spread across the continent of the world. The blue zone people are spread across the continent of the world. I mentioned all of them. Maybe for emphasis sake and for those persons who are just connecting, I'll just mention them again. We have the Okinawa of Japan. The Okinawa of Japan. We have the Sardinia of Italy. We have the Nicoya Peninsula of Costa Rica. We have the Okaria of Greece. The Okaria of Greece. We have the Loma Linda of California, which happens to be the headquarters, the area where you have more of the Seventh-day Adventists. And we know the Seventh-day Adventists, they do more of what? Food that is plant-based. Right? We also have a particular religion. Is it a religion? It's not a religion, a church that don't do blood transfusion. So these people, in handling their stress, they engage in meditation. They'll also engage in prayers and yoga. Having said all this, let me know if you have learned something from the blue zone area, why they stay longer, why they have the highest lifespan. What you have heard from me this night, what have you learned? And just let me know. They practice mindfulness, the blue zone people. They don't joke with mindfulness. They eat only to satisfy hunger and not to satisfy to the point where they start how will I put it, getting tired, or they'll sleep off because they need to eat. So they practice the 80% full. And now, another thing which most people don't do, that the blue zone people do. as part of their health requirement, they talk about social connection. There are people like me that will rarely travel. At the same time, schedule will keep us very busy that we don't even have time to connect with other people. We don't have time to connect with other people. We are so busy. Well, there are people that may not even be busy as myself. Their schedule may not be that tight. They are very introverted. Me I no wan go, I no wan go look for person trouble. I don't want to look for someone's trouble. Sorry friends, I'm using our African colloquial. So that I don't know, let me not go to somebody's house so that I will not go and buy trouble for myself. The blue zone people, if they want to eat, they eat in groups. Growing up, do you know that is how we used to eat those days? How we used to eat those days when we were growing up. We don't eat alone. If you visit your friend, they will not put separate food, except for things are changing. This is our life, this is our age, and things are changing. When parents want to put food for their children, everybody they put in the one tray. And when parents want to cook, they use, I don't know how many person know that pot they call 3-leg pot. That type of pot they use. They will cook as though it's for the whole community. So dish it in the tray. Everybody, they don't eat it like just that family alone. They will call other neighbors and so on. Everybody will eat from that place. Some person will use their hands. In fact, growing up, I still had friends those days that if eating with spoon looks stressful for them, they prefer eating with hand. They prefer eating with hand. So the blue zone people, they believe in that social connectedness. That social connectedness. They are stressed and something is stressing them out. They call a friend, they talk, they visit. Something they are not clear on, they call a friend, they talk with. So they talk about, they emphasize more of social connectedness and a sense of community. In fact, there's this other one again, which I don't advise in this age because you don't know. I've watched a video the other day where two children at school, they were fighting and one now fell off and hit his cervical bone. Thank God the news showed us that though she was on neck collar, but she never lost it completely. If not, everybody from that video thought that that child had passed on. So I don't encourage anybody to fight. But while growing up, the kind of community life we met was that if you want to fight, you don't fight alone. Every other person will support you. Every other person that are your friends, they'll put hand to help you and fight. That's the kind of life the blue zone people live. Community kind of life. All right? I'll soon be wrapping up. I might not exceed 10 minutes from now. I might not exceed 10 minutes from now. So just in case you have question, you have suggestion, you need clarification on the blue zone lifestyle, let us know in the comment box. All right? So just adapt a system like this and create a balance. For my Nigerian friends who may want to ask me, food are expensive, this, how do I do this and this and this and this and this? In the morning as breakfast, you can take oatmeal or sliced banana and honey in place of your sugar. In place of your sugar, honey. Chopped nuts, can take those things. On the other hand, if you don't have money, if you ask me, where do I get money to go and be buying oatmeal, sliced banana, honey, and all these things? You can take bean cake. You want to ask me now, what is bean cake? Bean cake is actually akara. Yes, so yes, like this. Bean cake is akara. So you can purchase akara. In the afternoon, these things I'm mentioning are practical. The blue zone lifestyle, their kind of diet, but I'm pushing it down to Nigerian level. I've done research on this. I'm pushing it down to Nigerian level. So where you cannot purchase oatmeal, or you can purchase banana, Or you can't purchase chop nuts. I believe you can purchase bean, which I say bean cake is akara. For those who don't know, bean cake is akara. For lunch now, you ask me what do you take? You can take jollof rice. But mind you, the type of rice the blue zone people take is brown rice. Brown rice is what they take. Brown rice. So this rice is prepared with tomatoes and spice. Remember the spice, type of spice we talk about, nuts and legumes and so on. So that's for the blue zone people. So in the afternoon you can take rice. They deal less with oil, anything processed in nature, oil in nature, oily in nature, they avoid it. So alternatively, you can take your egusi soup. Egusi is part of the blue zone diet under legumes. Egusi soup. Who knows egusi soup? Better egusi soup and eba. Who knows it? Please, if you know, let me know in the comment box. You know and you have eaten better egusi soup and eba. Let me in the comment box. Do we still have Blessing here? Do we still have Marilyn? Do we still have Lisa? Do we still have Cjos? Do we still have Tasha? You came. Let us know in the comment box. So if you know better egusi soup and eba, let me know. I think for the blue zone people that better egusi soup will go rather. I always get response. Okay, egusi is melon soup. Yes, so egusi is melon soup. Thank you, Blessing, for sharing. And that happens to be my favorite. That's my favorite swallow or meal. Egusi soup. Yes, so egusi soup now, what they will take is with wheat. And they say this egusi soup must be made from melon. From melon seeds and vegetables. This egusi soup, melon seeds, vegetables. That will take us to dinner. As a Nigerian, what will you do? For dinner, the rich people can do grilled plantain or yam served with side of sauced, suited leafy greens. Okay, grilled plantain or yam serves with a side of suited leafy greens like bitter leaves or spinach. All right. So all these things, in summary, they don't joke with their hydration, they don't joke with exercise, they don't joke with connecting with other person. Anything they do is exercise. Sole purpose of bonding them together. Sole purpose of bonding themselves together. So if you have learned something, let me know in the comment box what you have learned this night. Uncover with me the secret of the blue zone era that helps them to live longer. Let me know in the comment box. This thing, as simple as it sounds, the way I just finished talking, is what helped the blue zone people to live longer than every other person. If you have learned something, let me know in the comment box. I'll be done in the next 5 minutes. If you have learned something, let me know in the comment box. Let me know. We talked about the blue zone era people. Let me know in the comment box. If you have any question, when you have suggestion, you have recommendation, please do well to post it, okay? Do well to post it, do well to post it. Do well to post it. What have you learned from the blue zone area? We say the blue zone area, they are the people that live longer, the longest lifespan. What have you learned from the secrets we have shared, why they live longer? Let us know in the comment box. Why do the blue zone people live longer? In 2 minute time, we'll be wrapping up. In 2 minute time, we'll be wrapping up. Just let us know. In 2 minute time, we'll be done. Who is typing? Okay, Blessing said they eat more of vegetable. I didn't check that. Yes, so they eat more of vegetables. The blue zone people. What have you learned in this night discussion? All right, in the absence of anyone sending any question, I just want to appreciate every one of us that have connected to this live stream from the beginning to this point. I want to appreciate Lisa. I want to appreciate Blessing. I want to appreciate Marilyn. I want to appreciate Tasha, C. Joes, and as many that are just connecting. I want to appreciate every one of us. God bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you so much for having me here on this live stream. At this point, I will want to draw the curtain. For those who are at work, I wish us a calm shift. For those who may be going out at this point, I still wish every one of you God's protection. Bossman say, would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? Bossman, I don't know why the question, but for me, I prefer to watch the knee grow because the knee will grow in my presence. I will see it. We have managed a patient from point without bone to the point where the bone grew. So it did not take us the number of years that I will take to monitor a tree growing. Thank you so much, Blessing, for connecting. Thank you so much. God bless you. I believe you have learned something, and I believe you want to practicalize what we just mentioned or what we just discussed about the blue zone people. The blue zone people, their diet, that the secret for their long existence lies in their diet. Thank you so much, everyone, for connecting. Thank you so much, Bossman. Good night, everyone. Catch us. Good night.